How's everybody doing out there? This is the Coolclub. Bong, 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 bong. I am the glitch trap. We gotta get into this because I want to discuss this topic that's on everyone's mind about the new Blade film starring Mahershala Ali. Will he be able to fill the shoes of Wesley? Because for all intents and purposes, Wesley Snipes was Blade. He is Blade, not was, is. He's still young enough to pull it off. Only person who I could see could probably get off better as Blade is Michael Jai White. You may be like, there's other people now, but they went with Mahershala Ali. You saw him in the film Alita playing the main villain. He has a dark persona. He can go dark, like we get that. So that I see that's why they picked him. But as far as the physicality, can he meet the level of physicality as a Wesley Snipes, as a Michael Jai White? Those two men have high levels of physicality. Even Anthony Mackie, the guy who plays Captain America, even he would be a better, if you ask me, I think he would be a better fit. See, Blade has big shoes to fill. I don't care what anyone says. Blade was one of the first superhero films to be released. It actually started the MCU, but it doesn't get the credit that it deserves as a trilogy. Those films came out at a time when films were actually good. Like, you had to make these films to make it into the box office. Each Blade was made on that type of level, made on that scale, and each Blade had its own unique charm to it. Had its own unique charms, had its own storylines, different things that and it introduced something new every movie. In the first movie, you had Blade just going up against Deacon Frost, his arch enemy, in pretty much the origin. The second movie, you had the Reapers, those creatures with the four mandibles. Then you had the third film introduced Blade fighting actual Dracula. So these movies were great. Mahershala Ali has big shoes to fill. I hope he does a great job. I really do. I'm not against him at all. I really hope he does a good job. But again, he has big shoes to fill when it comes to dealing with Wesley Snipes. It's the same thing with Jamie Foxx playing Spawn. Now, Jamie Foxx is a great actor. We've seen him be a badass. Now, we've seen him in Django. Jamie Foxx can turn up when he needs to. He was also in a recent film, forget the name of that film, with those vampires. So you saw Jamie Foxx turn it up on the action tip. And he also has a level of charm that can win audience over and make you like a scumbag like Al Simmons. Even though Al Simmons is a great character, a great anti-hero, we all know that he was an assassin in his personal life, in his former life. So I really do hope that Mahershala does a great job and sets it off as Blade, because we've had failed Blades before. Let's remember, do we all forget Sticky Fingers, I would say, from Onyx played Blade at one time? Yep, Sticky Fingers from Onyx was Blade. He didn't have, and this is what I'm talking about. He didn't have any karate, any combat training experience, and it showed in the show. Blade's more than just quips and street attitude. He has to be able to get physical, and it has to be believable. I don't want to see a bunch of wires and foolish CG, like a bunch of extra CG or him just shooting up the place. I don't want to see that. Like, that's not Blade. Blade, Wesley Snipes showed you what Blade could do. He's a vampire, like with he's a vampire hybrid, so he has the strength of the vampires. He's able to do things that normal human beings can't do. Like if he hit you, he's able to hit harder than a normal human being, kick harder. So when you seen Blade kicking a vampire, him spinning. You seen Wesley Snipes when he had did certain moves or something like that, like he'll punt, jump, and then he'll hit the ground and crack the ground, stuff like that. We want to see that. We need that in the films. If you're not gonna bring that, don't even come to play. Like, don't even bring this to the table if you're not gonna bring it. Like those films brought it. The first Blade was directed by Stephen Norrington and written by David S. Goyer. I gotta give it to Stephen Norrington. He's a great director. He's a great director. I gotta give it to him. That film was dark, even though the film was made in 1998. But it was perfect for not only for the times. This movie has aged well. It's not. You still see the acting, the atmosphere. Everything encompassed how a vampire film, an action-packed vampire film should be. And Wesley Snipes again brought Blade, the character, to life. The first time we've all seen like an action version of Blade, like Blade actually acted out outside of comics, was my first time was in a Spider-Man animated series. And it was the episode with Morbius. That was the first time that I've seen Blade. That was the first time I had ever saw Blade in my actual life. I never read him. I wasn't born when the comics first came out with Blade, and I never got into that Blade in Spider-Man comics. But then I saw him on the animated series, and that got me into it as a child. And I was like, yeah, Blade's a cool character. You know, you saw him going up against Morbius. So I really do. I look forward to seeing the film, but this film has had some delays. So I don't want to jinx this, but when you see when you have a film who has a lot of delays and things aren't going according to plan, it's not a good look. It's usually never a good sign. Marvel initially brought on Bassam Tariq. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Bassam. They brought him on board to helm the project, but he ended up leaving, unfortunately. He parted ways with the project. I don't know why. Let's see. And now the film is announced that it's going to be moving forward with Yann Dimanche. He's known for 71 in Lovecraft Country as the director. I don't know. I didn't really get into Lovecraft Country. Had a couple of okay action scenes. The main one that I liked was in the first season with those creatures. I guess they were like vampire-like creatures. So that's what they saw in him to do this. I don't know, man. I don't know. But we'll see. But Tariq remains credited as executive producer for the movie, so maybe he still has something to do with it. And the thing that what Tariq's best known for is Mowgli. What the hell is that? I don't know what that is. I guess is that the Jungle Book? Ah, man, I don't even know what they saw in him to do the film. I mean, like, I don't get it. But it just depends on what type of tone. Like, do not take a Saturday morning cartoon tone with this movie, please. That is not the tone that we want. That's the tone that it seems that the MCU is taking. You know, a soft, colorful, bubbly Saturday morning cartoon tone. But we don't want that with every film. Like, every character doesn't want that. This is the dark character here. This is darker than Morbius. You know, he's in that wheelhouse. Blade kills people. You know, well, vampires. That people get killed in Blade, in the universe. So it has to be dark. I don't know what you're looking for with this. I don't want to see this be like in the same continuity as Craven, or something like that. Like, Craven looks too colorful. This could be like, this needs to be like standalone, like Venom for a while. I know that it's already crossed over into the Eternals. I get it. But they need to still keep it as far away and as dark as possible. Like it could still be in the same universe. We get that, but just keep it separated a little bit. And it's a way you can do that. It's a way you can separate that universe with story and plot points and things like that. Setting, you could do it. So just like Venom, like keep it away. Because again, I don't want this to get too colorful just yet. You know, he can join once you establish the Dark Blade universe. Again, this was a trilogy. This was a trilogy before. This had 3 movies before. They didn't have Blade wasn't in Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. He already established his 3 movies. You know, so now that's what we have to stand on. You at least need to let them establish the universe first, man. That'll be good. Let's see what we have here. Film cinematography is being handled by Damian Garcia. And casting myself in. Okay, no, y'all don't care about that type of stuff. You can go read more about this film on Collider.com and also other sites telling you about this. Let's see. The Boys, Anthony Starr could play Dracula in the movie. Now that does sound interesting there. We all know Anthony Starr from The Boys. I think that would be Homelander. Now that's the one thing that I say that they got 100% right in casting Anthony Starr as Homelander. As Dracula. I'm sorry, because we all know he plays a great villain with Homelander. Let's see who else do they have. Again, it's not much out about the film right now. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But the villain, I say they got right. The villain matters in films. If you get the villain right, I would say you have 80% of the movie down. Just to be honest, like that's how I look at things. The villain is what drives the films. But I'm gonna wait and see and we need some trailers. We need a trailer before, because Mahershala Ali. I'm gonna get that name right one day. Mahershala Ali is still up in the air for me. We have Wesley Snipes. Is the shoes he has to fill. We know that Sticky Fingers. We saw his Blade rendition. We saw Blade acted out in anime. We saw the PlayStation 1 version of Blade. We saw how he moved. Now, we should have enough examples to know what we want from a Blade, because the anime Blade was dope. Blade, Wesley Snipes, oh man, 100% dope. We know what we want. So I hope, and you can think what you want with the Sticky Fingers Blade. Like that Blade sucked. We don't want that. Okay? So, hey, I'm gonna just say the glitch trap is gonna be up in the air on that one. We're gonna put that on a wait and see. But I always say for superhero films, especially Blade, I'm a day one. I'm gonna go see this day one. So with that being said, we're gonna end this video. This is the Glitch Trap and the Cool Club. Bang, bang, bang.